Yeah, and I can tell you, like, the day trading is just most of the time like waste of time. Like this SMB, that prop firm. I mean, this was like a couple of years ago. I saw like a video, like their best trader makes like 300K per year. Like, that's a guy who's been trading for like 20 years. If you've been trading 20 years, you should make 300K a week, not per year. So that's another confirmation that, you know, day trading is just not gonna cut it. If you wanna make big money, you gotta swing and position trade. Wow, Kirk, look at this. I'm telling you guys that have small accounts, you have an incredible edge. Like, it had a good setup here. It had a good setup here. And now look at it. You know, this thing is a double, triple from those good setups. Like, especially, like, look at the ADR, 12.5%. Okay. You're not gonna get this type of a move on a stock like Amazon or Facebook, low ADR stocks. You get doubles and triples on high ADR stocks. This is why I want you guys to use ADR of at least 5 or 6 in your scans. Like, I can't trade this thing. Like, I can't even put 1% of my account in this thing without pushing the stock up 10%. Like, it's impossible. I just can't trade this thing. But you guys with smaller accounts, you have a big edge. If you just learn the setups and develop your own rules, or just understand what the rules are for and why, you know, you can make so much money. I'm just gonna start with Bitcoin. Like, I'm gonna show you, like, you know, with these techniques, you can make money in any asset class. Like, they all move the same. Like, you get the exact same patterns. Like, exact same patterns I'm teaching you on stocks. They work on crypto too. I'm gonna do it in a sec. There's no need to front run other chat rooms. We don't need to know that. Like, let them buy this thing. Like, let them do whatever they want. Let's focus on setups. Let's not focus on what others are doing. Like, it's a large cap stock. Like, some small day trading room, they're not gonna move this thing much. Yeah, CWH had a setup a few days ago. Yeah, following through now. This is exactly what we're looking for, you know, a big move, pull back, and then it starts building higher lows, and it surfed above the 50-day, and then it built higher lows, had a range here, broke out of that range, and now it's following through. This is a 4.5-star setup. Yeah, it had kind of, it's just a very choppy stock. This thing never has a good setup. It just kind of keeps grinding higher. It's a very tough stock to trade. It never has a good, very rarely has a good setup. Or actually, well, it had some good setups over the years, but you know, it's just, I don't know. Like, it's kind of like, it has an up day, down day, up day, down day, up day, down day, and somehow it still manages to go higher. Like, some stocks are a bit tricky. Viva is one of them. Another one is like Now. Another one. It just keeps going higher. But every other day is a red day, but somehow it still manages to go higher. You know, you can see, it's made a decent move here, but every other day is a red day. It just keeps, you know, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, but it just keeps building higher lows. Zen is another one of these stocks. Like, look at the March lows. Like, you know, it's made a big move, 80% move, but like 50% of these days are red days. Just very tricky. And then you compare something like Fastly. Like, when this thing moves, it moves. Or something like Tesla. When this thing moves, it moves. Or something like Shopify, right? When it moves, it moves. Or AMD. Those are the stocks you want to trade. You need to be able to identify those, you know, beforehand. You know, you're gonna be able to do it in, you know, over the years. It's gonna take a while, of course, but yeah, JD, and now I'm moving my stop higher. JD is a little bit of slower stock, so I'm gonna trail the 20-day moving average as my trailing stop. Just because, you know, it's a lower ADR stocks, I use the slower moving averages. Like high ADR stocks, let's just say 5-6% plus, I use the 10-day, and lower than 5-6% ADR, I use the 20-day. But you should stick to the 10-day because you're only supposed to trade fast moving stocks. This is what a 5-star breakout looks like. A slower ADR stock, but you know, like slower stocks need to go sideways a bit more. Like you know, this thing was surfing the 10-day, then it started surfing the 20-day, then it the 50-day, but you can clearly see it's been building higher lows, and then it broke out on earnings. Earnings breakouts. If you get these earnings breakouts that don't gap up 20%, this one actually only gapped up a few percent, and it kind of pulled back out of the gate and then took out the highs of the day. Like earnings breakouts can be really powerful of solid pace. You don't get them. You maybe get a few per earnings season, but you know, on liquid stocks, and you have to identify them. Like I'm trying to be better, but this one I nailed. I bought it in pre-market, got stopped out, took like an $85,000 loss, but then I rebought it and a bit higher. And you know, a good setup, if you get shaken out of it, you need to be able to rebuy it. As long as it's like your stop doesn't get too wide. But you need to be able, like on like Spotify, this one shook me out, but if it triggers again later today, I may not buy it because I already bought a bunch of other stuff. I don't really have the buying power, but if I had the buying power, you know, I would have to rebuy it because it's a good setup. A little bit of slower stock, but you know, it's a good setup.